What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video we're going to go over how to make things sell fast. It's by far the most common question I get on eBay. So for an item to sell fast, 3 things have to be true. So please smash the like button, consider subscribing. Let's get into those 3 things right now. So the number one thing to help your items sell fast is actually just selling things that people are already looking for. So in today's example, I'm going to use the eBay app and look up something that people already want. And we're going to go through how to check sold so you can verify that it's sold in the last 90 days. So let's type into the search. I'm going to type in the search Nike. And you can see the number one search for Nike is Nike Air Force 1. So that means the most people on the site are looking for this, or I have looked this up and eBay has remembered that and it knows that I'm looking for Air Force 1, so it's already pre-populated that. So this is an example of something that you could just buy and resell on eBay itself. You can make a full-time living just selling the Air Force 1 by buying low on eBay and reselling on eBay, especially if you know how to restore and clean Air Force 1s. It's the most popular shoe that Nike makes. It's one of the most popular brands. So let's type in Nike, and we're just going to look in men's shoes, the category, as an example. So when you click the filter button, it's going to show there are 470,000 pairs of Nike shoes available. That's a lot. But more importantly, how many of them have actually sold? So we'll go ahead and click in the show more section, click on the sold button, and now on the bottom it shows 430,000 have sold. So 470,000 for sale, 430,000 sold in the last 90 days. That's pretty good. That means an item should sell in 90 days or less, or 3 months or less. And that goes by our advice of doing 1% daily. So if you're selling in categories where 1% of the items sell every day, you'll have a really good chance of being successful on eBay. So number one, selling in categories and products and brands. Doesn't have to be a brand. It could just be a category. You could just be selling a certain type of wood, a certain type of silver, a certain type of turquoise. So it doesn't have to be a brand, but it has to be a keyword, category, or a keyword that people are commonly looking for it to sell. That's number one, and it's the most important one. The second component to determine whether or not a listing will sell fast is it a quality listing? Now there are 7 components that go into a quality listing. I'm going to go over all 7 of them in my own store right now on a sample listing to give you guys an idea of how it works. Also, for the first time, we're going to be offering store reviews and listing reviews in our mentorship now. So when you join, on the main page there is a link that you can click and you can go ahead and put in one of your listings for us to review, and we'll go over these 7 components to help you adjust, because essentially everybody wants their items to sell faster, and when you adjust one of these 7 items and make it more optimized, your item will sell faster. So let's get into my listing. So this is a Banana Republic dress. So title is going to be really important. So here I try to put in as many keywords that I can that are related to the item. So I usually use about 10 keywords per item. So that's number 1 for title. Number 2 is going to be photos. So for me personally, I average about 10.4 photos per item, all different angles, all different close-ups, all different features. I'll let the customers know what is it made of, what size is it, going over all the different pictures. And also it's important to have photos that are well lit, pictures that are in focus, and if you can take pictures in square mode, that is actually better because it's more optimized for mobile. But depending on your photo setup, you might take pictures in a different orientation, but ideally you would take pictures in square mode. You would also make sure that the color is as accurate as possible. So lots of photos, accurate, square mode if you can. That would give you the best score for photos. Next is going to be item specifics. So we'll scroll down here and look at my item specifics. You can see here the ones that I have entered in are actually accurate. So you want to make sure that when you enter in item specifics, they are correct. So for example, this is a size 2P, which is petite 2. And depending on how you enter that in the eBay, it may make it difficult for some customer to actually find the item. So I've entered in only the ones that I think are relevant to the customer, and I've left the ones that are not relevant blank. So a lot of people will enter in something that doesn't matter in the item specific just so they can get the blue lightning bolt. For me, the blue lightning bolt doesn't really matter as much, because I feel like if you're entering in the wrong item specifics like NA or not applicable or doesn't matter, that's not something that people are actually looking for. So I feel like your listing is less relevant and it's actually not showing up. So only enter in the stuff that I think customers are actually going to be looking for. Next is going to be description. So description is going to be two parts. It's going to be the description that's in the body of the listing. It's also going to be the description of the condition. So if there are any flaws, stains, tears, rips, any notable things that you want to tell your customer, please put it in the condition description up above. That's how you would get a good condition description. And when you submit your listings for review in our mentorship group, we're going to look through all of these and make sure that they're on point. So after the description, we're going to go over pricing. Are there items that have sold for that price? If you go ahead and look at Banana Republic dress on eBay, you will see plenty of them have sold for $13 or more plus shipping. I also have best offer turned on, which means I'll even accept a little bit more of a better deal. So if somebody offers a couple of bucks less, I'm going to accept the deal. Right now I have $8.99 for shipping. That's economy shipping. So this item actually has to ship priority because it's over 1 pound. So it's important to understand items that are over 1 pound, since they're going to go out priority, most likely you should just put in expedited shipping for priority. So I'm actually going to lose a point on this because I put economy shipping, standard shipping, when it could be priority. The main reason why I do economy shipping is because it gives the customer a way to negotiate with me. If they want a better deal, they can just say, hey, maybe this can go first class, can you knock a couple bucks off? Gives me a tool to negotiate with someone, versus if it's free shipping, it's already as cheap as it can go. So I always recommend a reasonable shipping charge. You won't get a deduction on this unless your shipping charge is too high, and it's actually a turn off for the customer, in my opinion. So that's how I look at the shipping. Finally is the return policy. I personally have free 60-day returns, and that's really important because if you have free 60-day returns, it means that you stand behind your products, and also it allows you to have the best ammunition to fight against negative feedback. So since recently, I've been taking my feedback a lot more seriously. I used to average around 3 or 4 negative feedback per 4,000 transactions, so like 0.1%. But now, since switching to a system where I answer questions immediately, answer customer service multiple times a day, I've been able to bring that from 3 to 4 negative feedback to 0. So that has been really integral for me, really working on customer service. And honestly, it stems with having a really good listing, because when I didn't have all these components, I would get a lot of questions. So as you grow your store and you get bigger, a lot of people say, oh, I would never have any of those issues, but that's because they have a really small store. As you grow, inherently, you actually need to be better and better in your processes to be able to handle all that extra volume. So that's going to bring us to number 3 for making your listing sell really fast, which is, do you have perfect account health? And what that means is eBay's on the back end tracking every single thing that you do. So are you a top rated seller? Do you ship fast? Do you have returns? Do you handle customer issues and cases quickly? If somebody has an issue, do you immediately take care of it? So I am going to say something right now that's a little bit controversial, and it will trigger some people, but I am on the same team as my colleague Tech and Sports. He and I run the Facebook group. He's one of the largest individual sellers on eBay, period, and the largest seller of pre-owned men's clothing on the platform. So he is on the team where he does not allow people to get a return, keep the item and get a refund. So he always has people return the item first in order to get a refund, because he doesn't want to train customers and they can just say they have a problem, and then you don't want to get the item back and you don't want to go through the hassle, so you just issue a refund to avoid the shipping back to you. He's not on that team. For any reason, he'll make the customer return the item back to him before he issues a refund. And I'm now moving to that camp because I don't want to train customers to keep the item and get a refund. So I'm a fan. I'm on free returns. The top rated seller discount that I get, the top rated plus discount, far surpasses the amount of money that I lose due to fraudulent returns. So I do have a fraudulent return here or there. I did report the person that sent back the rock. I think I may have miscommunicated that on the previous video with the rock. I did report the buyer, and eBay did give me a full return. And fun fact, the rock sold for 27 bucks on Whatnot. So that's fun. As far as the perfect account health, the last thing is answering questions immediately. I think really does boost your item, because you might get lucky when you answer a question immediately that the customer is actually still looking at the item. So if they ask, can you do any better? Can you check this for me? Trust me, you do actually have time to check. I did all of the math behind checking for a customer. It takes under 5 minutes to check a customer, any question they have in any item, no matter how big your inventory is. Everyone has 5 minutes. If you want to answer that person's question, you can. So the more seriously you take customer service, the more seriously you take your account health. If you have those 7 quality listing components and you're listing things that people want, you will sell tons of items and they will sell really fast. So I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next show.